Hi and welcome to Love Doing Yoga on this Monday evening. Hope you had a lovely weekend and you're looking forward to a nice week. Our theme today is retune. So we'll be retuning our bodies, but also retuning that voice in our mind to be very positive. So let's dip in and out of that over the course of the next hour. As always, listen to your body. Only do what feels right for you today. And let us begin by lying down. Making yourself nice and comfortable on your mat. Lying in whatever way suits you today. As you let go of everything that's happened to you so far today, everything that's going on in your life and in the world, just let it go. Let go of the past. Let go of concerns about the future. And just enjoy being fully in the present moment. You've no roles, no responsibilities, nothing to do, but stay present. And just allow your attention to move to the base of your spine. Notice how it connects with the mat. Notice any sensations here. And let your attention move towards your navel. Again, just focusing here on any sensations, anything you feel. Just let your awareness rest on it. And moving that attention on upwards to the base of your sternum. Again, just becoming aware of how it feels. Noticing how it moves with your breath. And moving on upwards to your heart center. Again, just giving it special attention. And traveling on up to the base of your throat, just where your collarbones meet. And on up to that point between your eyebrows. Letting your attention rest here. And taking your right hand, just placing your index and middle finger on that point between your eyebrows and closing your right nostril with your right thumb. Just breathe in and out through your left nostril. One more breath here. And then just switching, putting your ring finger onto your left nostril, closing over the left nostril, and breathing in and out through your right nostril. Being aware of the difference between the two sides. One more breath here. And then allowing your hand to come back down by your side. And with your attention resting on that point between your eyebrows, just observe yourself breathing naturally. In through your nose, filling your belly, and out through your nose. Noticing how the breath travels through your body in a nice, even rhythm, like the pistons of an engine. Or the pendulums of a clock. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then bending your knees, just hugging those knees into the chest as you take a little moment here to ease out the spine. And as you're easing out the spine here, tune into that inner voice. And just begin to notice what it's saying. And encourage it to be encouraging, to elevate your own self-esteem, to focus on the positive of what you're doing. And coming to stillness, letting those feet come down onto the mat and rolling over onto your side. Let's just come up to sitting as I say hi to Sharon and Jane and Jean and Tara. And I think they're all with us live. And Audrey might be with us live too. And Mags and Anka and Annalise and Natalie and Kitty and Pamela, who I know are all joining us later on. And from here, let's just come onto all fours and start to warm up the spine. So just curling that tailbone under, rounding through the spine to the crown of the head. And then tilting that pelvis, letting the belly drop, the chest open, the gaze rise. And again, rounding through into your cat. And then rolling into that cow. Let's do that a couple more times. And when you're ready, meeting back in your neutral spine. And let's step the right foot up and then the left and come to standing. And standing up nice and tall at the top of your mat. Just checking in with the feet that they're in a nice straight line. Equal weight on both feet. Ears over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips. Allowing length and space to come into the spine. So as you inhale, just allowing it all to open up. Check in with that inner voice and listen to a positivity that it's giving you. Maybe it's positive that your spine is starting to open, that this stand feels good. And from here, we're going to warm up using our sun salutes. So we'll go very slowly to start with because we're just getting going, raising the arms up. Let's sweep them out to the side as we come into a forward fold. Bend your knees generously for this first forward fold. And coming up halfway, thinking about lengthening through the spine. And forward fold again. Having a nice generous bend on the knees as you step that right leg back, dropping the knee, open the foot, and rising up into your low lunge. And from here, we're going to move through to a plank. So bringing the hands down either side, stepping the outside leg or the left leg back. And then coming down onto your knees, then your feet, trying to get the chest to the floor before the belly. And then gently just moving away from the mat to bring in your back bend. From here, pushing up into your tabletop, adjust the hands as much as you need to, curling those toes, hips, coming back to the heels and lifting the knees up off the mat to start with. Start to just lift the pelvis up and push the pelvis back towards the back of the mat. Keeping those knees bent, heels up off the mat. Just think about your spine here, letting the gaze go towards your belly button and then begin to pedal out your legs. Nice and slowly. Speaking nicely to yourself. And working your way to your own point of stillness, wherever that is. And then with your right leg, just stepping it forward towards the front of the mat. Whatever way works for you. Dropping that left knee, open the foot. Low lunge. And hands down either side of the foot, stepping that left leg up to meet the right. Coming all the way up to stand. Good. Sweeping those arms out to the side for your forward fold, still keeping that generous bend on the knee. And halfway lift, lengthening the spine. And forward fold. Let's step that left leg back to come into our low lunge, flowing through to your plank and coming down on knees, feet, chest, belly, and rising into a cobra, pushing through your tabletop into your downward dog. And then getting that left foot up to the top of the mat. to come into your low lunge. Hands down either side of the foot, stepping the right foot up to meet the left. Bend those knees, coming all the way up. Good. And once again, sweeping those arms out to the side, forward fold. Let's take a breath here. And halfway lift, checking in with the spine, nice and long, gaze to the floor. And forward fold, stepping that right leg back, rising up into a low lunge. Take a breath. And moving through to your plank. And taking a breath here, a little micro bend in the elbows here. Coming down on your knees, feet, chest, belly, and then lifting up into a cobra. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I hope I didn't sneeze into my microphone. I probably did. Coming up through your tabletop and into your downward dog. And let's get that right foot up to the top of the mat. Low lunge. And stepping the left foot up to meet the right, bending the knees all the way up. Good. Sweeping the arms out to the side, forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthening the spine, finding that space to come into a nice deep forward fold. Stepping that left leg back for your low lunge. And through to your plank. Knees, feet, chest, belly, and lifting up into a cobra. Through your tabletop into a downward dog. And getting that left foot up to the top of the mat. Low lunge. And stepping the right foot up, bending the knees all the way up. Good. Once more on each side. Sweeping those arms out to the side. Forward fold. Let's take a breath. And halfway lift. Taking a breath. And forward fold. Take a breath. And stepping back into your low lunge, right leg back. Take a breath. And moving into your plank, take a breath. Knees, feet, chest and belly, lifting into a cobra, take a breath. And pushing through your tabletop into your downward dog, taking a breath. And right leg up to the top of the mat for your low lunge, taking a breath. And stepping that left foot through, bending the knees all the way up, taking a breath. And moving it up a little gear, letting the arms come up, sweeping out to the side, forward fold. And halfway lift. Forward fold, left leg back, low lunge. Through into your plank, take a breath. And coming down on knees, feet, chest and belly, into your cobra. Pushing on up through your tabletop into your downward dog. And taking that left leg up to the top of the mat for low lunge. And stepping up into your forward fold. Bend those knees, coming all the way up to stand. Good. Hopefully you're feeling warmed up after that and loosened up. And from here, just bringing the feet together, toes together, heels a little bit apart, raising the arms up over the head and clasping them together. Let's just, like we're a tree, been blown slightly to the side. So taking a nice side bend here, allowing the whole right side to stretch. Let's take 3 breaths here. Letting that left hand come down to get a slightly deeper bend here. And coming up straight, shifting the weight into that left leg. We're going to lift the right leg up and just hold on to the shin. Finding your balance. Think of something really positive about what you're doing in this pose. Whatever it is, find the best point of it. And from here, moving into your tree pose. So bringing that right foot against the left leg, either at the calf or the thigh or just above the ankle. Wherever you are in the pose, having that right knee at a right angle to your leg, finding your gaze point. Focusing on the positive aspect of your achievement in this pose. Even if it's just that you're getting 1 second of a balance. And from here, just holding on to that right foot and straightening up the body. And then you can begin to open out that right leg to wherever feels like that will do. And if you want a little bit more, you can open out the left arm and use it to help you balance like I'm doing. And then letting that right foot come down to the mat, toes together, heels apart, raising those arms up over your head. Let's bend the knees and just come into a chair pose. Bringing the hands down, palms pressing into each other, elbows opposite each other. Let's take a little twist to the right. Think about stacking the shoulders on top of each other if you can. And coming back up to stand, clasping those fingers together over the head. Let's take a bend towards the left. No, towards the right. Just allowing the stretch to come into that whole left side of your body. Enjoying the stretch. Finding the positives in this stretch. And then bringing that right hand down onto your hip as you just go a little deeper into this stretch. Enjoying that whole length of the left side of your body opening out. Coming back up straight, shifting the weight into the right foot this time. And lifting that left leg up, holding onto the shin. Finding straightness here. A little gaze point in front of you, soften the gaze. Check in with yourself. And let's move it into a tree pose, whatever way works for you, to your calf, to just above your ankle, or to your thigh. Finding a little point of balance. And again, looking for the positives in how you're doing this pose. Are you flat on that foot? Have you got equal weight spread across that foot? The standing foot. Is your knee at a right angle? Tick. Are you getting any moment of balance? Tick. Standing up tall, ear over shoulder, shoulders over hips. And then from here, just holding on to the outside or the toes of that left foot. Lifting the leg up to wherever suits you. So your right leg might be getting tired here, so do take a rest. And maybe, if you're still up, opening that right arm out into a T. And then letting the left foot come down to meet the right foot, toes together, heels apart, raising those arms up over the head, enjoying this nice long body stretch. And bending the knees as you sit down into your chair pose. Letting the hands come down in front of you, pressing those palms together, elbows opposite each other. We're going to take a twist this time to the left, thinking about turning from the belly button, allowing the body to lower down and stacking the shoulders on top of each other. Good, one more breath here. And coming back to center. And all the way up to stand, raising the arms up over the head, sweeping them out to the side. Coming into your forward fold, making your way down into a resting pose, whatever resting pose works for you. Maybe your knees can be together or apart, your hands can be in front of you or to the side, or one stacked on top of the other. Letting your awareness rest on your breath. Tuning into that inner voice. Seeking out positive messages from that inner voice. Retuning it. If it's not as positive as it could be. Two more breaths here. And then coming back onto all fours and pushing it back into your downward dog. Taking 2 breaths here. And then
Just moving, walking the feet up to meet the hands at the top of the mat, bending the knees,
coming all the way up to stand. And from here, let's just take it to the long side of the mat. Having the legs about 2 or 3 hip widths apart and opening the arms out, really allowing yourself to take up as much space as you can in this pose. Being aware of the extremities of your limbs. One more breath here. And then turning, swiveling on this right heel as you just feel the whole of that leg from the hip just open out to look towards the top of the mat. With your heels in line with each other, just turning that back foot pointing towards this top left-hand corner of the mat. And from here, just letting that right arm rest on the right thigh as you draw the left arm up past the ear for a nice side angle pose here. Having that right knee directly over your right ankle and enjoying this stretch all the way along the left side of the body. Checking in with that inner voice. Retuning it, if necessary, to a positive. And then letting that left hand travel on down to the mat, and the right hand to come on the opposite side, on the other side of the right foot. We're going to just shift our weight into that right foot as we lift the left leg up. Good. Allowing everything to be long here. And we're going to let that left foot come down hip width away from the right foot. And let it come down, well, as far as is comfortable for you. We're going to keep the back heel up off the mat for this. Check in with the width of your feet before you rise up. So for stability, the wider you have this stance, the more stable you will be. And then rising up, lifting the torso up and the arms up over your head. Good. Breathing into this. I know this can be a tough one. Building up the strength in your legs. One more breath. Focus on the positives. Retune that inner voice to positivity, bringing the arms behind your back, clasping them together, and just raising the gaze up here. Good. One more breath here. And again, coming forward, we're going to lift up onto this right leg once again and just allowing the upper body to move towards the ground, the back leg to come up and the arms to go behind you. In as much as is possible. And then let the arms come down either side of that right foot. Letting the left foot come down once again in line with that right foot, so the heels are in line with each other. Lifting up to where we started with that right arm on the right thigh in your nice side angle pose. And we're going to come up into a warrior two, so just raising the body up. Putting a little bit of weight into the outside edge of that back foot. Arms in a T, having the whole body nice and open at the front, softening the shoulders, looking out over that right hand. 2 more breaths. Good, and just turning both feet to face the long side of the mat and hands out into the T for your nice your nice star shape here. Good, let's take that to the other side. So we're going to swivel on this left leg, swiveling that heel, letting the whole leg turn. Bending that left knee so it's over the left ankle and letting that right foot just turn inwards slightly so the toes are facing that top right hand corner. Heels in line with each other. Bringing that left arm onto the left thigh as you raise the right arm over and really begin to enjoy this lovely side angle stretch. Having the shoulders stacked on top of each other. If you find this really difficult, you can always put your hand on your hip, which will just help you to keep the shoulders in line with each other and the chest open, which is really what we want to achieve here. Really good. And then just allowing a little turn of the body as you place the right hand down and the left hand down either side of that left foot and shifting the weight forward, lifting that right leg up. Good. Allowing the gaze to go towards the belly button. And we're going to step that right leg back. Remember, we want them hip width apart this time. Letting that right foot go back far enough so there's a bit of a stretch, the heel up off the mat. Keeping that bend in that left knee, we're rising up into our low lunge. Sorry, our high lunge. Good. Focus on the positive. Retune that inner voice to say something good about this pose and how you're doing it. And bringing those hands behind your back, clasping the fingers together, just drawing them away from your back as you raise your gaze. Really good, releasing the hands as we just shift the weight into this right leg, bringing some, or this left leg, bringing some straightness to it, lifting that right leg up, allowing the body to just move towards the ground. Arms behind you. Good, and then bringing both hands down, letting that right leg up for a 3-legged dog. And then bringing that right foot down so the heels are in line with each other once again. Bending that left knee, lifting up into your side angle. Good. And then coming into your warrior two, just putting a bit of weight into the outside edge of that right foot. Allowing the whole body to open up, looking out over the left fingers. Softening the shoulders. Good, one more breath here. And just turning both feet to the long side of the mat as we bend forward from the hips, allowing the chest to move towards your thighs. And then heel toeing those feet together, bending the knees, coming all the way down. And once again, finding a nice resting pose.
2 more breaths here.
And lifting up onto all fours, stepping that left foot up and just turning the toes towards the outside edge of the mat. And then stepping the right foot up, again with the toes at the outside edge of the mat. And coming down into your squat. Whatever version of a squat works for you. So you don't have to have your full feet flat on the mat. You can be up on your heels. No, you wouldn't be up on your heels. You can be up on your toes with your hips up. Maybe your hands are on the mat for a bit of balance, whatever works for you. But wherever you are in this, just check in with the spine. We want it nice and long. Two more breaths here. Good, and then just bringing your hands behind you as you make your way down to sit. Sitting up nice and tall, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. As we bring the arms out into a T, and we're just going to turn from the belly button to the left. Good. Keeping those feet flexed. Enjoying this twist. And coming back through the center to the other side. Good. 2 more breaths. And coming back to the center, bending both knees and holding on to your toes. And then just, I find it easier to walk the heels back in towards your butt a little bit as you shift the weight slightly back on your seat bones and lift the feet up off the mat. Finding your point of balance here, wherever it is. And then just seeing, maybe this is enough for you, or if you like, you can begin to open out the legs. Trying to keep that spine nice and long. Good, taking 2 more breaths here. Keeping that left leg wherever it is, just let the right leg bend and come down, holding on to both toes. And just see, can you open that left leg out a little bit further? Trying to keep the length in the spine as much as possible. Good. And then drawing that left leg in, hold on to the outside edge of that left foot and just see, can you draw your knee over your shoulder? So look, this a lot of the time is down to just your skeleton, the shape of your skeleton. So you might find this really easy to do, or you might say there's absolutely no way that's ever going to happen. So if you can do it, do it. And then just hold on to it with the right arm. Let that left hand come down. As you enjoy this stretch, you should feel this in the outside of that left leg. Good. 1 more breath here. And letting that left foot come down. Having both feet out, just pointing away from you, and come forward and hug the shins for a minute.
Good. Listening to that inner voice.
You're retuning your body. You've done a lot of retuning of your body over the last 45 minutes. Done a lot of movement, a lot of stretching. So tune into your inner voice and make sure it's tuned to the channel of positivity. And if what you're hearing from inside isn't positive, just switch it to another channel. Retune it. And from here, holding on to both toes, once again, stepping those heels inwards, tilting the balance back a little bit on your seat bones as you raise both legs up. Just going with your body here and what works for you. And then let's just bend that left leg inwards, letting that right leg open out. Again, listening to your body, trying to stay up tall. It might help if you come forward a little bit on your seat bones to keep the spine nice and long. And then bending this right foot into a cradle pose, so like you're rocking it. You might want to hold the outside edge of it or bring the right hand underneath it. And then begin to see, can you get it coming up over the shoulder as you let it open up here. Letting that right hand come down onto the mat and just enjoying this stretch wherever it is with your body. 2 more breaths. And allowing that leg to come down and both feet to come out as you once again hug your shins. And then just lowering your back down onto the mat. Allowing both knees to fall over to the right and your arms to open out into a T as your gaze goes to the left. Two more breaths here. And just bringing everything over to the other side. Knees to the left, head to the right. And coming back through the center, letting those arms come down by your sides, palms facing upwards, legs out long for Shavasana. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that practice. And I hope you
felt that you were able to tune into the channel, the positive channel of your inner voice. We will be back here again live on Wednesday and Friday at 6. We would love your company then, or any time that works for you. And thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. So now just begin that process of allowing your body to absorb all of that work and to process it. You've put it through a lot of movement and stretching and conditioning. So now is the time for your body just to assess that. And it's so important to give your body this time. Just begin to let go your toes and the soles of your feet. Let go the tops of your feet, your shins and calves, your knees front and back. Let go your quads and your hamstrings. Letting go your glutes, the small of your back, the length of your spine, the back of your rib cage, your shoulder blades, the back of your head. The whole back of your body, just let it go. Letting go your whole pelvic area and belly, the front of your rib cage and chest. Letting go your armpits, shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, backs of your hands, palms of your hands, and your fingers. Letting go the crown of your head, your forehead, eyebrows, eyes, cheeks, jaws, chin, lips, and tongue. The whole of your body, just let it go. The whole of your body, let it go. And taking time here for gratitude. Gratitude to your body. Gratitude to your breath. Gratitude to the positivity in your inner voice. And gratitude for everything that's right in your life today. And let your attention rest on your breath as you breathe in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. Just observing yourself breathing. Letting your gaze drop towards your heart center. And let all your attention rest at this point. And as it rests here, see, can you open a little door to your heart. And as you look inside, listen for that inner voice. And say hello to that inner voice. And spend some time here. Enjoying the company of your inner voice.